What if that number that's made you panic was never meant to predict whether you could get pregnant? Low AMH has become one of the most feared lab results in women's health. But here's the truth. AMH was designed to estimate ovarian response for IVF, not to determine whether you can conceive naturally. Yet, thousands of women are being told daily that they're running out of time based on this one value. In today's episode, we're separating fear from physiology. And if you've ever felt like your diagnosis came with a deadline, this conversation is for you. Welcome to Faith Over Pharma, the podcast for women who want a different way to heal. I'm Susan Gladstein, holistic health practitioner and functional nutrition specialist, and here we explore faith-led, holistic approaches to hormones, energy, and symptoms that just keep getting brushed off. If that's you, you're in the right place. I know you have been doing all the things and you still have not gotten that positive test. Your doctors are telling you your labs are normal and just keep trying. But really, they've never stopped to ask why it hasn't happened yet. So many couples that I work with get rushed into the next step without ever slowing down enough to understand what might be throwing things off. Hormones that look fine on paper but aren't strong enough. Inflammation, stress, sperm that exists but isn't thriving. That's why I created the Rooted Fertility Audit. It's where we step back and look at the whole picture so you finally know what's helping and what's holding things back. And for a lot of couples, this is the piece that no one's ever explained to them. And honestly, it costs a whole lot less than jumping straight into treatment that may not even address the real issue. If you're ready to meet your baby, not just go to more appointments and have more confusion, this is where you start. Go to susangladstein.com/fertility to start your audit. I would say just about every day I get a message from somebody saying, I've been told that my AMH is low and I don't have much time, or that my ovarian reserve is diminished and I am crushed. I want you to hear me clearly. Low AMH is not a fertility sentence. It's merely a data point, and data without context can create fear. So let's bring some context back to the conversation. Anti-Müllerian hormone is produced by small developing follicles in the ovaries. It estimates follicle quantity, not egg quality, not implantation ability, not even your capacity to carry life. It does not measure the health of the egg that ovulates, mitochondrial strength, uterine receptivity, hormonal harmony, or God's ability to write a different story. It measures quantity at a moment in time. That's it. But what happens next? The word diminished enters the room. And fear moves in quickly after. I know this. I went through that being 38 when my husband had his vasectomy reversal and feeling like, well, I just want this baby and my time's running out. I need to rush into treatments. But here's what research actually shows. AMH is the most predictive of ovarian response during stimulation for IVF, meaning it helps clinics estimate how many eggs might be retrieved. It was never validated as a natural conception predictor. Those are two completely different outcomes. A woman can have low AMH and still ovulate regularly, have strong luteal phases, and conceive naturally. I've seen it. But because conception is not just about how many eggs remain and more about the environment those eggs develop in, this is where most conversations in fertility clinics stop. In my opinion, too early. Eggs take approximately 90 days to mature, which means that the egg that you ovulate 3 months from now is being shaped today. And egg quality is influenced by mitochondrial function, oxidative stress, blood sugar stability, thyroid function, nutrient sufficiency, toxic burden, sleep, and nervous system safety. Eggs are energy-heavy cells, and they require cellular resilience and communication. They require a body that feels safe enough to reproduce. And most women today, especially those of us living in the United States, we're operating in survival mode. Chronically stressed, inflamed, under-rested, overstimulated. But because that's so much of our norm, I find this a lot in my practice. I'll ask somebody to rate their stress level, and they will say that they're not stressed at all. And yet I will look at their labs and see that their body thinks otherwise. But we cannot expect optimal reproductive function in a body that constantly feels like it's under threat. And this is where root cause work changes everything. I can't tell you how many times someone, when I've asked a question or pointed out something in their lab work, they were like, I've never been taught this. No one's ever asked me that question before. And I want to address something that conventional fertility conversations rarely include, and that's cellular signaling. So if egg quality is influenced by mitochondrial energy and oxidative balance, then supporting the body's repair systems matter. And this is one reason I personally incorporate phototherapy technology in all of my fertility clients. I have done so much research on the different peptides that these patches naturally help your body produce. For example, the X39 patch has been studied widely for its ability to elevate GHK-Cu, a copper peptide that's involved in tissue repair, stem cell signaling, and cellular communication. Again, I'm not here to give you some kind of pill or recommendation to force your body to ovulate. This is about restoring and supporting the body's own regenerative pathways. So that means lower inflammation, better sleep, improved stress resilience, and obviously we want enhanced cellular signaling. So when we improve the terrain, we can change the probability environment. And if we're being super honest, fertility mainstream medicine runs off of timelines. If you're over 35, if your AMH is low, if it's been X number of months and you're still not pregnant, you're moved towards intervention fairly quickly. Again, I am not anti-IVF. I am anti-skip the foundations. I can't even tell you how many clients come to me who have been told that they just need to do a medicated cycle or rush into IUI or even IVF. When those foundations are not yet addressed, your outcome, even with all of the extra emphasis, if you're not working with good quality to begin with, your outcome is not going to be nearly as positive as it would be if you were building the foundations. So I just want to take a moment to speak to the woman who feels like her time is running out. You're not behind. You're not disqualified. Low AMH is not a prophecy. It's information. And information, when interpreted through wisdom instead of fear, can become strategy. God designed the female body with intelligence, with adaptability, with signaling systems that respond to nourishment and safety. Honestly, our bodies are not really fragile. They are responsive. So if you've been told that your AMH is low, here's where I would focus. Ask for a full thyroid panel, not just TSH. Look at inflammation markers. Make sure that your blood sugar is well regulated, that you are getting enough micronutrients, that you are prioritizing sleep quality, minimizing your stress load, supporting your mitochondria, and your cellular signaling environment. Because honestly, fertility is a systems issue, not a single number issue. And fertility is just an indicator of overall good health. And if you are listening to this and you're like, I don't even know where to start, I have been told I'm out of time and I've gotten nowhere and I just want a baby like yesterday, we should chat. You can go start your audit at susangladstein.com/fertility, and I will look at all the things that have been confusing you that doctors haven't been able to tell you in a 15-minute appointment and break everything down and give you a game plan so you know what to do next. You're not designed to barely function inside of a reference range, and your motherhood story does not belong to a lab value. I pray that this gives you hope and that you will help me spread the word to other women who are trying to conceive after 35 that their fertility is not fallen off a cliff and there are ways you can optimize it naturally. Thanks for listening to Faith Over Pharma. If this helped cut through the noise, share it with a friend who always asks, do you think this actually works? And if you're ready to go deeper through immersive retreats, phototherapy, or the Rooted Reset, you'll find your next steps at susangladstein.com.
Thanks for listening.